Thank you. Good evening. Welcome to part 2 of our 2005 State of the Hood Community Forum. We just had the part 1. Starting off with the part 2. Part 2 is going to be a little bit more aggressive, and we're going to start with the answer man. You know, this is a gentleman who, I don't know really what to say about him. I don't know really how to introduce him. The man needs no introduction. He's been on 2 of my shows so far. He attacks me all the time. He doesn't care for my tie, but he's a good guy anyway. Lou Jones, the answer man, take it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to tell you about his tie, but I won't waste your time. You notice no black Americans have on the flag for ties. However, as I see the panel here, and I've heard them during the first half an hour, or the first half segment of the show, I'm not from Fort Wayne. I am here incognito. I was so hot, I was run out of Chicago. Everybody is not into the church that are black. I am one that's not into the church that's black. As this panel and most of you would believe, black people just go to church and pray. Not so. I've just recently joined the church, though, since I got old. However, these people have professions that they expound upon. I would like to think that I am a professional. What do I mean by that? The problems that face black America, I have answers for them all. Believe me, get up off your knees, okay? Now, Eric had me on his show twice because I bring certain things to him that he hasn't heard before. And the biggest of those things is Eric believes the Emancipation Proclamation meant something until he met me, and I let him know you can't be freed by the same hand that incarcerates you. What does that mean? That the slave that we have today are the same ones we had yesterday. Okay? The Emancipation Proclamation that Lincoln supposedly freed the slaves. What they don't say is who was keeping the slaves. If it wasn't the government, he said in the second half of the show he's going to talk about Willie Lynch. Well, Willie Lynch sold the program to the United States government. The government said, yes, we need to make slaves. How do you make slaves? Excuse me. Whenever I'm talking to anybody and they don't know what I mean, I will pause and say, for you young people out there that don't know, some of you old ones too, what the Willie Lynch letter is, here is a man in 1712 who approached the United States government and said, listen, I know how to make a slave. And he sold his formula to the United States government. The same government that came along later and said, Emancipation Proclamation by Lincoln? What, didn't you just buy it? Yes, you did. Young people, the government bought the formula that says, I will make you a slave. What do? You put this couple right here, you incarcerate them and give them the order that you must make children and make as many as you can because I, government, am going to take them away from you and do with them what I want to do, or I'm going to kill you. And they did, because a lot of people would not be slaves, okay? However, I don't want to labor you with that because you are in the attitude or of the attitude that says We shall overcome. Well, until you are willing to die, you will not have a revolution. Do you hear me? Example. My mother told me years ago, listen, my son, when I was a teenager, she used to lay stuff on me so heavy, it just now starting to pan out. One of the greatest things you can do, my son, is pick the spot that you're going to die in. I said, oh, I don't want to die. She says, but wait a minute. If you don't want to die, you must fight. I will fight for what? Listen, son, it was best said by Patrick Henry when he said, give me liberty or give me death. What does that mean? That means you don't get pushed around. For years, I used to look at that newspaper reel that had that foreigner on it with 2 rocks in his hand, one in his left, one in his right, and he was braced to attack a tank with a .50 caliber machine gun on it with 2 rocks. I used to think, how stupid and dumb can that foreigner be? Until my brains kicked in and said, that's all he got, and you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Do you understand that? No way he can win with the 2 rocks against a tank. That's what you think. You think he can't win. But if, Reverend Hunter, there's going to be a greater place beyond, and he on his way to that greater place beyond, and if you kill the slave, who's going to do the slave's work?
Mr. Jones,
Yes, sir.
all right. Now,
Come on, don't be ashamed. Come on.
What is it really about America? I mean, it seems as though that you don't feel that a black man has a chance to become president. You don't believe a black man has a chance to be a significant leader in America, or have I misread you? And also, I know about the Emancipation Proclamation. You misquoted me on that. We've done a lot of shows tearing apart the Emancipation Proclamation, but I do still feel that a person through their own initiative can be successful in America.
Now, let me explain success, because I see we don't know the same success. Example, you, Black America, your man has a lifespan of 65 to 68 years old. This is what the census report says. Anybody that catches me wrong, you get money. Anybody. Catch me wrong, you get money. I have money to give anybody that catches me wrong. All right. If you're going to be successful and you're only going to be 68 years old, why, pray tell, is your president that wears a red, white, and blue flag enacting legislation that changes the retirement age to 70? You're going to pay Social Security forever, and then when you get 70, you can collect. Well, you're going to be dead 3 years ago, okay? But for that reason and 12 million other reasons, you would only put a red, white, and blue flag on me once I'm laying down dead.
Thank you very much. Last week, Lou Jones and I won One-on-One Live, and that show, yes, he took control of the show from me, but we still got through the whole show. So the next time he comes on my show, I'll maintain control the whole time.
I also gave him a red tie and a red puff.
Thank you very much.
And I want it back.
Before we go to our next guest, I've already ordered my red, white, and blue socks to go along with my tie. Because, again, I do believe that black people can work within the system to make the system work for black people. Our next speaker is a young lady who really surprised me because I didn't know that she was so well, had so much knowledge about Willie Lynch.